Today we'll be giving a gameplay overview and review of the game No Regerts, designed by David Petrie and published by Poison Fish Games. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with To Die For Games. I'm Mandi, the board gaming pinup girl. My fellow hosts are
Tracy, the gaming maven.
Stephane, the game's teacher.
Only have about 10 minutes to watch something, so check out our review at the end or check out our components because they're fun. We have timestamps below to show you where all those parts are.
If you like what you see, why not leave a comment below? And if you want to be notified when we post new content, click on that subscribe button.
No Regerts plays in about 25 to 45 minutes and accommodates 2 to 6 players. We've got No Regerts all set up and ready to go, so let's get to it. Objective. Players compete to cover their body with awesome tattoo designs and have the highest score at the end of the game. Playing high-scoring tattoos while playing negative tattoos on their fellow opponents. So Tracy, tell us, what's inside the box?
Components: 210 tattoo cards, 6 formation cards, and the rulebook. So, now that we know what we're playing with, how do we set up? Stephane?
Set up. Each player will take a formation card, which shows the 6 body parts where tattoo cards are played. Shuffle all the tattoo cards together and deal 5 to each player. The player with the most tattoos goes first. Now that we're all set up, how do we play? Mandi?
Gameplay. There are 4 steps in a player's turn. Step 1, get inked. This step is mandatory. Players must start their turn by getting a tattoo. Players have 3 options. A, play a positive tattoo to one of their open body parts from their formation card. The player must pay to play this card by playing with another positive card or a modifier card. B, play a negative tattoo to an open area on an open body part. This may be good if the player has good cards to play on other people and doesn't want to have to pass in their turn. C, pass by discarding 2 cards and drawing up to the player's hand limit. Then end their turn. Step 2, open play. This step is optional. Players can either add more tattoos to their own tableau or play cards on opponents if they are able to by first playing a bad advice card. Note, if a player has played their first tattoo card to a body part, they cannot start another new body part, but can add more cards to existing areas. Step 3, discard. This step is also mandatory. Discard 1 card. Step 4, draw. This step is mandatory. Players will then draw up to their hand limit. Note, once a body part has 3 tattoos on it, it is considered closed. However, modifiers can still affect this limb. So, how does the game end? Tracy?
Game end. Once a player has filled all available spaces on their body, a total of 18 tattoos, plus possible modifiers, they gain 5 bonus points. Then, players will add up the positive points from tattoos and modifier cards, and then subtract points from the negative tattoos. The player with the most points wins. So that is how you play No Regerts.
So now we're ready to give a review of No Regerts. So guys, showing off all your sexy tattoos, what do you think?
I definitely like the cards. I'm just gonna say the artwork, magnifico.
Yes.
I agree. The card art is fantastic, on par with the best card art I've seen in any game, really. And I enjoy the theme as well. So.
Yes, I too enjoyed the artwork. I have tattoos, you can't see them, but the artwork in this game is actually the same type of artwork, a tattoo that I have, so it's more of American traditional or traditional. So let's move on to artwork and themes since we're talking about that. Now, I know the game was done by artists, so it's really nice to see the technique. Did you guys want to add to that?
Well, just the fact that like some of them were like finished, like they had the color, and some actually obviously weren't quite done yet. They were going to finish them, but it was kind of cool seeing the progression of how they started the sketches on these ones and then the finished ones, and I was like, wow. So you're going to get to see what they're doing. You unfortunately won't get to see that in the finished product, but.
Yeah, I had a conversation over Twitter with Poison Fish Games, and they said that they were working on coloring most of the cards that were still in black and white. They might leave a few in for flavor, but most of the cards will be finished in full color.
Which is fantastic. So yes, our box did come with, I think, not quite half, but quite a few that were not colored in. So in the final product, you were saying we'll see more of the color there. So I thought the artwork and theme was perfection. It was really good. Quality of components. I don't know if we can talk too much about this. I mean, we got a mostly finished game, but what did you guys think of the texture of the cards?
They were nice. They didn't seem to slip and slide quite as much of them, which is good because when you're trying to lay them on each other, you don't want them like flying all over the place when you're putting them on a limb. So I like that.
The card quality was acceptable. Just they could have been a little bit thicker, but again, there's options for that if they're doing a Kickstarter, which they are. Could be a stretch goal to do a linen finish or black core cards or whatever. So
yes, and I agree. I was about to say that I thought it could be just a little bit thicker, but exactly that may be a stretch goal or something that's introduced during the Kickstarter. I don't know if this would fall into here artwork. We'd also discussed people who have issues with color blindness. I know you had mentioned this.
Yes,
Tracy.
and they actually were they when they responded to me about that, they were really thankful that we mentioned that because it wasn't something they had thought of, and it was actually a friend of ours who had mentioned it because he's colorblind. So it was good that someone had been able to give us that feedback about it before they got too far.
Yeah. So I think it was specifically the red. Was it
the
red?
It was basically the text with the red and black along the banner on the bottom.
Right. So this is something that we've mentioned and they're going to look into, so it's good. At least it's something that'll be corrected. Game mechanics.
At first, the very first time I played this, it was tricky. There was a little bit of confusion on some stuff, but again, Poison Fish, they were great at getting back to us and saying, okay, this is this, and they actually said that they had come across that and were going to fix that. They were going to add like parts in parentheses or more obvious explanations of those cards. So that's great.
Oh, that's really good.
The game mechanics were fairly simple. There's some take that in the way you play cards on your opponents to reduce their score. Some of the cards have special effects, which the card text is fairly descriptive in that sense. I didn't really need to refer to much of a player reference or the rules, except in a couple of occasions where things weren't quite clear, but they're going to work on that for the final release of the game. So simple mechanics that worked really well for the theme of the game.
Exactly. So, I don't know, lately we seem to be on a roll with that whole take that type of game. I don't know what it is.
Weird, because I'm not usually a take that kind of thing, but I'm like, ha ha.
Yeah, and anything that looks kind of deck buildery, I mean, I'm not saying this is a deck builder, I kind of go, ugh. I know, I keep saying I don't like deck builders, but lately I've been liking a few of them, but it's...
We're converting her.
You know, slowly, games where you have to, make your own deck. Anyway, we're getting there. But this is not quite in that realm, but I felt like the trick-taking part, or excuse me, the take that part, we seem to be gravitating to those, but it was fun. Like, it wasn't overly mean, which can be a problem for some people. So, similar games. Can you guys think of any?
Well, we had talked about Star Realms as one. Now, Star Realms is just player versus multiple people, so that's a little different, but you do have that play stuff in front of you to affect people or affect yourself, and then play cards specifically to affect your opponent.
Exactly. Now that's a deck builder. That I know is a deck builder through and through.
Yeah, I can't really think of too many similar games off the top of my head. Yes, like Star Realms, there's kind of that player interactivity with the cards. Nothing else is coming to mind at the moment.
Plums a little bit. I'm not saying the game's the same, but there were some, where you have cards. You can actually have cards which affect another player depending on the symbol at the top, and then you're trying to make your own combination. So I thought that was similar in some effect. Yeah. So I said plums. P. Malflaumen is the original name. So just in case anyone's looking for it. And final thoughts on the game.
Final thoughts, I'm really keen on seeing what all this looks like finished because I was already wowed by it when I first saw it, and I think I'm going to just absolutely love it when it's completed.
I too really enjoyed the game. Again, can't say enough about the card art. It's fantastic. The mechanics, don't really break new ground. I mean, a lot of games do similar things with the take that functions of the different cards. But it was fun. It was light. It was a good filler game, maybe a lunchtime game with the right people if they're not, offended by tattoo ink.
Exactly.
We all have tattoos, so I think it fit well for us.
Exactly. I have to admit, I'm not, at first I was like, oh, I love the art. The tattoos is great. It's my style of, art. And I'm like, I don't know about this gameplay. I was a little iffy. So I was worried going in that I wasn't going to like it, and I liked it. So it really helped that I liked the art, and then the gameplay went along with it, and it was good. So overall, I think we enjoyed this game. Yes, thumbs up. So check out the Kickstarter. It's coming up. I believe it's September the 8th.
That's what we were told, yeah.
Perfect. So check it out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.